The Baddies Reloaded mod just dropped, and it's basically a rework or a remastered version of the Baddies mod from a couple of years back. Now, the story has only changed slightly, so let me explain what's actually going on in this version. So the main antagonist in this mod is named Stephanie Crawford, or aka Stalker Girl, and in the little cutscene, we learned that she was basically a social outcast who didn't have a single friend. So her way to fix this was to get clout off someone who was basically famous. And that is where she sees Boyfriend and Pico having their rap battle on the news. She pretty much becomes obsessed with Boyfriend and basically decides that she's going to get in touch with him no matter what. She manages to get a lead on Boyfriend's location by actually negotiating with Pico.
A little bit of my persuasive skills, and he pointed me in the right direction.
And this actually leads her to be introduced to Mommy Miris, where she makes a deal with her.
She took a moment to think, but she offered me a deal.
I'll tell you where he is if you accept these special hypnotizing powers. And then you can have him all to yourself.
I was like, you have to tell me twice, hooray! So I got the powers and his location. This was the best day ever.
I like that this mod actually shows us that Mommy Miris has the ability to use magic and influence people in the same way that Daddy Dearest does. I feel like a lot of mods actually like skip over just how powerful she is and how she can also do some devious stuff when she wants to. Now, with that being said, in the next scene, we see Stalker Girl actually meets Boyfriend and challenges him to a rap battle. And over the course of these rap battles, we see that Steph is starting to gear up to using her new abilities. The first thing that she does is actually make Girlfriend disappear, which kind of explains what happens next. Stephanie summons a rifle, takes out Boyfriend, and a bunch of other people who are gathered around. Obviously, if Girlfriend was still on the scene, Boyfriend would have been fine, but without her, there really isn't a whole lot that he can do against bullets. Now, there is one person who survives the massacre, and that is Nova, and it's kind of ironic that he survived because this is probably the one person that Stephanie actually needed to take out. When I looked into his backstory, I learned that this is like a cold-hearted killer. In the wiki, you can look at his actual occupation, and it says murderer. On top of that, apparently he took some kind of like chemical that gives him the ability to regenerate. The downside is that his body is constantly damaging itself. So in a way, he's kind of like Deadpool, but his body is always destroying itself and repairing. And a fun fact, Nova isn't silent because he wants to look cool or mysterious, but he is literally like a mute, which just means that he cannot speak. Now, after this, we see that Steph realizes that Nova is kind of challenging her, so she attempts to take him out and is almost successful, but luckily, Pico actually pulls up and kind of acts as a distraction. And it's crazy that I use the phrase act as a distraction when he literally shoots her in the back of the head, it looks like. But it kind of just showcases how strong she is in this form because even the bullet doesn't really phase her. Now, after a bit more of a tussle, Nova hops on Pico's bike, which starts like a sequence where he's basically riding away from Steph on the freeway. Eventually, Mommy Miris and Daddy Dearest pull up and admit that they made a mistake in giving Stephanie these powers and ask Nova to finish the job with his AK. Which after a bit of time, he actually does manage to do. There's also a song called Flow, but I'm pretty sure that this is just like the direct version of Boyfriend and Nova, so not a whole lot of lore to go with this one. If this mod is going to be anything like the original, I think there's probably going to be a few more songs added in the future, but I'm not sure. But if there are, I'll make sure to go ahead and cover those when they come out. But with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this video on the screen here. Subscribe today to become a member of the Orseofkorse, and we'll see you tomorrow with another one. And sorry that I took a bit of time off. I had to go out of town for a wedding, but now we're back and videos should be back on a regular schedule. Peace, peace.